Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to part two of the UltraTrend indicator tutorial review, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a tutorial, right? I'm showing you here the tips and tricks on how to use it, okay? The best way, okay? I don't want you to be confused or anything, all right? I'm explaining here every single tip and every single detail that you should know before you get this indicator. And if you're watching this and you already got the indicator, I'm telling you guys, if I'm creating all of these videos and I'm taking the time, like every video is like 40 minutes, 30 minutes long. If I'm taking the time to create this for you, it's because I'm trying to transmit something to you. I'm trying to teach you something. I don't want you to get the indicator without watching this. Please don't do it. If you have not watched all of these videos, don't get the indicator yet. Don't get it. Watch, because you need to learn. You need to learn something. You need to see how it works, right? So watch these videos first. Understand, right, what I'm showing you here. Once you have a clear idea and you understand the technique and when to enter, when not to enter, right? What are the things that you have to pay attention to? Then you go ahead and purchase it. Okay. Remember, again, this is a paid indicator. It's going to be a monthly subscription. I've given you the price. It's on the Discord. And of course, it's going to be on the checkout as well. You will be able to see all the information there. All right. So anyways, let's continue with this part two right quick here without wasting any time. So understanding, right? Remember that I explained in part one the filters that I'm using that I like. You don't have to like it, right? But I'm showing you what I'm using that works for me. You may not want to use, again, you may not want to use, for example, these filters right here, right? Which filters the sessions, right? You're going to be getting a lot more positions, a lot more entries, of course, during every hour during the day. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend taking every single trade during any hour during the day. Although you could, I don't recommend, right? Because you have to start building good habits. You know what I mean? And trading every time during the day is actually not a good habit. You know, for example, because you're not going to be focused every hour during the day. You know, so you can set your mind to be prepared and to be focused, fully focused during these specific times, like, okay, right now I have time for myself. Let's say I have kids, I have to take them to school, all that stuff. So I have 2 to 3 hours to be trading during New York session. So probably the morning or in the afternoon, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna choose these hours to be fully focused because, right? Because if you don't use a filter, if you filter this thing out, right, and then you're going to try to enter during any time during the day, you're not going to be focused. Don't lie to yourself. You're not going to be focused because probably your kids are at home. You have to do things in the house, help the wife. Maybe I don't know. You're back and forth. All you do is set alerts, right? And then you wait for the alerts to get hit, and then all you want to do is just get in right away. No, right? It's not a good habit. You can do it, but it's not a good habit. So stay focused. Choose a few hours. Understand that, right? This is for every strategy, for every indicator, right? This is probably an advice for every indicator. Doesn't necessarily has to be this one. It's an advice for every single indicator or every single strategy as well. If you don't focus and you look for specific times, or you're trying to take entries during every hour or any hour during the day, is not smart. It's not a good habit. So anyways, hope it makes sense, right? So I personally like to add the filter so I don't see any other signal or I don't get tempted to enter during any other time. Okay, you see the word? Take notes. I don't get tempted because sometimes if I don't select this filter, believe me, you will be tempted. to get in, you know, and you could be catching a bad entry. So stay away, you know. I'd rather have this. So I explained as well in the previous video, right? In this case, I'm using New York session, just a New York session for my case. That what are the pairs that I want to be watching, right? Those who were trending, right? Notice how this pair was during Asian session and London session, right? It was choppy. You see the 200. This is the 200 SMA. So is horizontal. When the moving average is horizontal and you see the price is cutting up and down, it's a ranging market, you know, and you don't want to be paying attention to that, right? Now it started dropping. Then New York session open. You see, by the time New York session open, we were below the 200. We were. It looks like we were trying to go low, right? We were bearish at that moment. So from here, you see, it started to go chop, chop, chop a little bit, a little slow right here, a little uh, choppy, right? So right here, let me see what was the thing that I didn't show. I think I showed you pretty much everything from here. And to enable the TP1, TP2, TP3, this is pretty much the colors. I would leave it as it is. And the testing, right? I explained, okay? 30, I have it set 30. I want the back testing box to only show me the last 30 trades, okay? And then pretty much this is the colors, pretty much is the same right there. This button right here, clear statistics. You could probably be doing this every time you jump fresh into the charts. Let's say like every morning before you jump in. Look at what it says here. It resets the data. Toggle this off again. Useful. Hold on. Jesus, I cannot see the message really well. Okay, but to clear all statistics, right? If you want to clear all statistics, because sometimes we need to, I'm not going to say sometimes, we need to clear the statistics from this, okay? Clear the data. So we can do this every time we're going to start trading. You can do this at the start of your day. You can do a reset, okay? Now another thing, if you probably shut your computer off or you close trading view, you close the application off, or just close the page, right, and come back in. I recommend you doing the clear statistic stuff, okay? Right there. Why? Because this gathers information from old candles, right? So sometimes it's going to give you an old data that you don't want to have there, right? So in order to have this clean, you have to do this. What I'm going to do here is I just basically, let's say I'm just starting my morning, right? I will do here clear statistics, this, and I click OK. What this will do, you see, it will disappear everything. It will clean the chart completely. Then you go back to the settings, and then go back here, and then uncheck it again. Once you uncheck that, you see, and you click OK, it brings everything back into the chart. So it's basically like it reset the data. So you won't have any wrong numbers right here, any wrong data coming in, right? So you have to do this every morning, or every time. Let's say you had the chart open in the morning, and then you shut down your computer because you had to go to work, and then you come back in the afternoon and you kind of want to watch to see what the price is doing in the afternoon, and you shut down your computer, you closed everything, trading view, so you open the application again. I recommend you do the reset, okay? So that's basically it. All right, now in here, let's see if I'm missing something. Well, yeah, let's give you some of the tips and tricks that I do every morning to pick the best pairs, okay? To choose the best pairs that I think for that morning session, or for that entire New York session, okay? So let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's actually do this right here. Okay. this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on bar replay, and I'm going to go before the New York session, right? There we go. And I'm going to go on starting on this pair, NCD. I'm going to review. This is why you have to go probably, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the New York session opens, so you get the time to do what I'm going to do. This is what I do every day. I start from the top. I will be checking all of these pairs, all of them. You'll be like, what? Do I have to check all of the pairs? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can just pick 2 or 3 pairs, your favorite pairs. And that's it. Stick to those if you want, right? But what I do, because I'm a mentor, I teach, and I have my private community based on ICT concepts. So I'm teaching and I'm trading live with my students. In that part, I I don't have the time to be watching all of these pairs myself, to be watching them, right? So what I do is I just set alerts, and it does work pretty well for me. So this is what I do, right? A few minutes before, I want to see, a few minutes before the New York session opens, my session opens, I will see what am I seeing from here. I'm in 5 minute time frame. You see that I'm showing you all these examples on the 5 minute time frame. It's my favorite time frame to scalp this thing. This works in every time frame. You want to do swing trading, you can do swing trading, okay? If you want. It works in every time frame. So I personally like, I mentioned before in the previous video as well, I personally like the 5 minute, so I'm sticking to the 5 minute, okay? So what am I seeing? Right here, you see this gray station, this is the day before. Notice that the day before we didn't have any sales or buy signals, nothing. It gave nothing. So, okay, but what am I seeing right now? This is a nice trend, right? I'm actually seeing the 200 moving average right here. We see the trend going lower, right? It's looking beautiful. So it's looking very attractive to sell. Another thing that I'm going to be watching is the box, okay? Because this is going to determine right here if I do want to look at that pair or not. So what is it that I look? I look at the percentage. So anything above 70%, this is my personal preference. Anything above 70% for me is okay to watch. Like, I'll be watching this pair for sure to see if I get a sell setup or buy setup, right? In this particular case, we're trending down, so it looks good. I have a trend. You said the trend already started. You see, the trend is on. So I look at the box and I see 70% of the times out of 30 trades, out of the past 30 trades, 70% of the times, 21 times. So it means 21 times TP1 has been hit. So that's a good rate. I like that. I actually like that, So 70% or above. Below 70%, if there's a pair that has below 70% right here in this part, I'm not going to watch that pair, okay? So this is a pair I do want to watch, okay? And what am I going to do? I'm going to set an alert because I don't have the time to stay in front of this chart watching it, right? So I'm going to set an alert. So how do I set the alert? I just simply look for the buy or sell signal. By the way, let me do this because I won't be able to add the alert in replay mode. So I have to, what you're going to do is this, right click on the indicator, and you see add alert on UltraTrend, right? Click there. Once you get this, you're going to go here where it says once per bar close, right? And then create, okay? You see that it's just one signal, right? No matter what, if it's a buy signal or a sell signal, you will get a notification, okay? So make sure to select once per bar close, okay? And then create. So boom, you created an alert for that specific pair, right? Now, again, I have to go here. Okay, so I set the alert, right? Because I like this pair that is 70%, okay? 70% chances in the past 30 trades has it TP1 21 times. So that's a good rate for me. Okay. I go to the next pair, Euro NCD. What's the percentage? 73. and we're in one hell of a trend, right? Beautiful trend. So hell yes, I do want to watch this pair. What am I going to do? Again, right click, add alert, and you do the same process what I just showed you, right? So add alert. I do want to watch this pair. Odd USD, 67%. I'm in a beautiful downtrend, but 60%, 67%, you see, it's below 70. So my rule is I don't want to pay attention to any pair that is below 70. I want a very good winning rate for that particular day. For this particular, you see what I'm doing right here. For the past 30 trades, I need to see above 70%. If it's below 70%, it's not a good rate for me. I don't want to watch or waste my time with that one. Although it could give you a beautiful sell, I don't care. As simple as that. I don't care. That pair, I don't want to watch it. So I'll go into the next one. You're odd. 67%. You see, is below 70%. So I'm not going to watch this one. Even though we're in one hell of a trend, I don't want to watch that one. Okay. Next one, 70%. You see, this one does says 70% of the times. So based on my rule, I do want to watch. I know that you're going to be saying, what about the TP2, TP3, Eduardo? What about those two? Like, I I know that the TP2, TP3, you see, because they are further away, it is less times they're getting hit, right? Even though this is a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, you see. So sometimes the pairs, and you see that you will see the results, the actual results. Sometimes these pairs will show you how bad the conditions are. If the conditions are very choppy, or it's a pair that normally it disrespects a lot and moves differently, so you can see how many times, right? So out of the 30 trades, just 6 times hit TP2 and just 4 times hit TP3. This is pretty bad. But at least TP1, at least hit TP1 21 times out of 30 trades. So you can from here you can build also your plan, saying, okay, now what I'm going to do is with this one, what I could do is, probably as soon as I enter, I will be taking profits. As soon as TP1 gets hit, I will close probably 75% of my position in there if you want, or you can close 50% of your position on TP1. Don't move it on break even yet. Just hold and see if it goes to TP2, and then at TP2 you move it on break even. Or it's up to you. Again, remember the previous video before this one, I explained that if you want, also you can move your stops to break even as soon as TP1 gets hit, right? So you will see what works better for you. Do you rather move the stops to break even on TP1? Do you rather move the stops to break even on TP2? You will decide that. Okay. I told you there what I do and what my co-founder does, right? So you have to make that decision. Euro GBP, you see, we're trending up also nicely, but is it above 70? No. So it means that no, I won't be watching this pair. JPY, nicely. You see, nice downtrend. New York session is about to open 73% of the times. Really nice. This is a pair I don't want to watch, so I'll be setting alerts, right? NZD JPY, look at this, 80%. So 24 times out of 30, it's been hitting TP1. This is a beautiful pair that I do want to be watching that day. You see, so I'll be watching every single pair. You see this one, no. GBP, JPY, disgusting. No, even though we are nicely on the downtrend, but these numbers right here are telling me that get the hell out, so be careful with that. All right. So do I want to watch this pair? No, I don't want to watch it. 47, yuck. No, let's go to the next one. 70%. Yeah, look at the trend. Look at how clean the trend is going. Look, it gave only one sell right here on the day before. We're nicely trending. Something you have to also understand, that sometimes look how long this trend has been going, right? It sucks, but eventually the trend will come to an end, right? And right now, based on my experience as a trader, I see the price very oversold right here. So it's a matter of time for price to probably boom, reverse. It's been crashing for a long time. So like, let's see what happened here with this pair. They gave a sell. You see, it started to get choppy. You see, and these two cells right here are starting to fail. But why are they failing? Because we're most likely coming to an end. The trend it's been crashing for what, like almost 2 days, right? One, yeah, about 48 hours, right? So the trends are not going to last forever. The trends are not going to last forever. There is a chance, of course, for you to lose. You will always be losing. Right here, this was a nice, right? This was a nice continuation right there as the trend was going. Notice the separation. You can see the difference when the trend starts separating too much, when it's way too much separation right here. You see how it was coming. It was consistent, right? The trend is consistent, right? Look at the distance. Like, you could literally grab a ruler right there and you see like it's only like a 5 centimeter separation. All of a sudden, something happens right here. Notice the crash, right? Markets are crashing, right? Very quick right here. And the separation gets bigger. Now the separation right here, notice the space, right? Okay, it gets way bigger. Something is off. It means that markets are probably crashing due to something fundamental, something pretty bad is happening that is causing the crash. So that's a crash. It's not just a slow downtrend, right? It is a crash. You notice the separation. This was a slow movement to the downside. No changing in the separation until this very moment right here. Boom, boom. Notice the space, right? So New York session is about to open. You know that there's a chance right here that after this crash, price will try to either stop, or it will reverse. So if you want to give it a chance there and still catch a sell, it's up to you. But again, these are the parts that we probably gonna encounter losses, and that's okay. That's okay with it. After that big crash, unfortunately, New York session started ranging, right? So again, you don't want to see sells in here. Well, probably what you can do here, if you want, is increase the numbers, the sensitivity higher numbers. But I don't care. Like I explained in the previous video as well, right? I'm okay with number 3, which is like quite in the middle. If you increase this to 4, 5, 6, you see right there, I increased it to 6, you won't see the sales right here. You see, it avoided giving you that on that ranging market. But 6 will make you have very low signals. You're barely going to get signals. You see, right here, it would not give you a sell. So I don't like that. I would stick to, let's see, 5 still not giving sales right there. This one give you 1 right here, but it missed this one. So I find that 3 is like right in the middle, okay? Right in the middle at the moment. So losses, you're going to have losses, okay? It's part of the game. So let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's go back. Okay, so you see this one was 70%. So yeah, that's a pair probably I wanted to see. But again, based on my experience, I noticed like, damn, this is a big separation here. Like we're definitely dropping, but I understand that I have to be careful. So if I'm going to be taking a shot and a position and entry, I have to be careful, probably trading a small size, Let's see this pair. Nice trend. You see, it's also, notice the separation. It's very fluctuation, very fluctuated. Right here, we were moving sideways. And all of a sudden, skyrocket, little pullback, and then skyrocket again. 53%. Do I want to watch that pair? No, I don't want to watch that pair for that day, right? Let's continue. USD CAD 67. No, I don't want to watch it, even though it's looking like a nice trend already started. I don't care. 67% is telling me already that it's probably not going to be a good pair to watch. And this one, bro, this one is 70%. But I don't like the fact that we just broke above the 200. I don't like this. Those are the the next tips that I'm going to be giving you here. I told you again in the previous video that my point here, or the idea is, I don't want to try to catch the beginning of the trend. I want to enter on a trend that already started, that it's already, yeah, right. It's already has started. Like for example, not here. I don't want to be trying to catch anything here. If I would get a sell probably here, the sell signal, I would be taking this sell, or maybe even this one, but not from the very beginning right here when the price just broke below the 200. I would not be taking any sell position, right? Or right here, you see, we're just broke. I would wait. I would probably wait for price to start the actual trend and see if we are already trending. Okay, be careful with that. So 70%, it's a good percentage that I want to watch, but we just broke above the 200, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's see what happened with that pair. You see, you see, and it was Friday. It was NFP day, right? So would I be taking the sell right here? I don't think so. I don't think I would be taking actually this trade, especially what time was this? It was 3. That's also, you have to understand something. Mondays and Friday, yeah, Mondays and Fridays are not the best days to be trading, but I would say probably Fridays are the worst days to be trading, you know, because they tend to be slow, and you don't want to have to hold a trade, once the market closes. You don't want to have to hold the trade until Monday, right? So I don't recommend that. I don't like that. Plus, if you're trading a currency pair, watch out, because if you're trading a currency pair on a 5-minute time frame and the market closes, the spread, by the time the market will open on Sunday, it will have a spread huge, and most likely it's going to hit your stop loss. So this is why I don't like trading on Fridays. So I would avoid any trade after midday on Friday. I would avoid it. That probably the morning session I can trade it, but after midday, no. And I'm talking about, when I say midday, New York, okay, New York time. So the last 4 hours of the day after midday, the last 4 hours of the day, stay out. So after midday, no. So would I be taking this trade at 3 p.m. on a Friday? No, right? Understand that. I hope you guys are taking notes, because it's very important. I don't want you guys to forget this type of stuff, okay? These are the tips and tricks that I use. So let's go back here again to this pair. This one, you see, this one is 73%. That's a pair that I do want to watch, but I'm seeing that are are we trending? Are we actually trending? Look how choppy this trend is, right? We're moving sideways. We're moving sideways. So is it's not just based on the testing. Yeah, it does give some really good percentage winning right here. It's actually good. But what I'm seeing right here visually right now, this is a more ranging market, right? I don't like it at all. When the price is breaking below, above, below, above, below. Notice that this day, no signals at all were giving, right? So, and let's see if that day any signals at all were given as well. Hang on, let me just stop this. There we go. So right there, you see, no entries, no signals, nothing. Okay. So even though this is a pair, I would set alerts. Nothing happened, right? But I would probably be cautious right there because it's sideways. I don't like this either. You see, I don't like this either. We were trending up nicely right here. Nice trend. But then we got slow, right? And we're moving south. Look at the moving average, right? The 200. It's horizontal. So you want to avoid that, right? Do I want to watch this pair? Probably because of the 70. I might place some alerts, but I know that we're most likely sideways. Take notes, guys. Take notes. GBP USD. No, 63%. No, I don't care. USD JPY. Well, 70%. Yeah, this one looks like we're bearish. We're definitely bearish. We try to break above, but then we broke below again. We're breaking supports right here. So yeah, I think this is a pair I do want to watch. I'll be setting alerts 70% above, so that's fine. USD CHF, yes. Although again, this is a trend that's been for almost 2 days now. Yeah, almost 24 hours, and it's crashing. 77%. It's a very good rate, so I do want to watch that one. I'll be setting alerts on that one. CHF JPY, no. Euro JPY, oh no. 43, no. Euro CHF, no. Even though that's a nice trend, you see, but it's not really good at the percentage right now. So GBP CHF, no, right? I will not be watching. Although it was a nice trend. The day before, I gave a nice sell right there. So now notice that I have included this now in this video. You're seeing a new line now. LOI. All right? Hold on. So, okay, I was just reading a message. So right here, let's go in this area, right? The market is trending down. Let's say in this pair, I did set alerts for whatever reason. I have alerts placed, and right there, I went too quick. Hold on. Boom, right there. So it prints this sell, right? So notice that now we have, Jesus, hold on. Sorry, guys. We have a new line, right? LOI. LOI, what does that LOI means? It means level of interest, okay? So that means if you're entering here, this is another plan type of the part of the strategy. Decided to include a little line right there. So what does this mean? So basically, let's see the price moving, right? We see the price moving. As soon as the price hits TP1, right here, this is what I'm talking about, you can move stops to break even, take partial profits, take maybe close 50% to 70% of your position right here. You can move your stops to break even, or you could just trail the stop loss to the level of interest right here. You're just trailing the stop, making your stop loss now shorter because price is moving your direction. So this is a tracking point basically to trail your stop. So once TP1 gets hit, you trail your stop 50%. So this is basically 50% of the entire stop loss. Your stop loss right here, right? So once TP1 gets hit, you trail to 50% your stop, which is the level of interest, right? So once the price from there, let's say price now hits TP2, right? At that point, you can move it on break even, okay? So take notes. This is part of the plan. If you rather this way, or you rather as soon as the price hits TP1, you move the stops to break even right away, right? And then pretty much, right? Not all the time the price will go straight to your TP. Right there. Did struggle a little bit. It did end up hitting the TP, right? Never came back to at least to your break-even point. But I recommend you securing profits. It's very important to secure profits on TP1. Very important. If you're greedy and just say, you know what, no, I'm just gonna leave it, I'm just gonna hold the entire position. It's not smart. And if you do want to see results, you do have to take partials. Okay? How much? You probably close from 50 to 60% at TP1. This is what we've been testing. If you want to close just a little partial, it's up to you as well. You will see what your results are at the end of the day, okay? So you can do that. Now, On this, of course, on top of this, I will show you, let me bring this. This is going to be now the UltraTrend Pro. From this part on, I will be breaking on the addition that we have created, right? Another indicator that will come with the Pro version of UltraTrend, which is this box right here, right? I will explain this first, and then in the next video, I will be discussing and showing you again what the indicator, how the indicator will help you on determining your bias, okay, which is very important on the day. And this is again very unique. I have not seen anything like it on any indicator on TradingView. There's nothing like it. The logic behind everything is just insane as well. So let me just quickly break it down here for you. So basically, this box has the logic based again on ICT. Okay, so the reading, this has nothing to do with the, I explained this before, I think on the video from YouTube, the TTED indicator, this one right here, right? The TTD indicator, if you don't know it, is basically an indicator that works based on moving average on the 50, right? On the 50 EMA. So what this does is right here, you can choose, let's say the 15, the 1 minute, the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily and weekly. So just an example, right? So what this does is this measures, this tells you without needing to go into different time frames. This will tell you where is the price going in the 1 minute time frame? Is it above or below the 50 EMA? That's all it does. If it's below the 50 EMA, right, it's going to be red. And if it's above, it's green, right? So that's what you see. It's like a traffic light. So if you're getting a sale, for example, and you see all of this red, you're like, go for it, bro, because you are entirely bearish, and you can see all time frames, you're bearish, almost all time frames, except on the weekly, right? Of course, the higher time frames are the strongest ones, right? Because that sets the actual direction, normally the higher time frame, right? So that's how it works. That's the TTD. But this one right here, it also measures the 5, 15 minute, 1, 4, 1 hour, 4 hour daily and weekly. But this one works, it doesn't work with the moving average, or as the moving average is showing on the TTD, right? It does not work like that. This one works based on the ICT logic of daily bias, okay? Understanding how candle close, right? How the previous candle closed, we can determine where the next candle is going to go. So it applies that logic to this. And you can see it gives a score from 1 to 10, basically. You can see, for example, on the 5 minute time frame, it's telling you a certain direction. It's telling you, okay, on the 5 minute time frame, we're bullish. On the let's go here, for example, right there. On the 5 minute time frame, we are bearish. On the 15 minute, we're bearish based off of how the previous candle closed. Okay, this is based off of that, how the previous candle closed, and this definitely gives you a very, very strong bias. We've been testing this out, and it works way better than just the moving average. You know, just paying attention to the moving average, it's mind-blowing, you know. So in the next video, I will be explaining that. So stay tuned for part 3.